good morning. I'm gonna get started here in just a moment. I am so excited that this day has finally come because this weekend I am launching my brand new embodiment method class for you guys, and it's such a labor of love. It's such a big part of my heart, and I'm really just stoked to have you guys experience it. So I'm gonna give us just a couple of moments and hopefully a couple people can hop on. So embodiment, I'll talk to you guys a little bit about the process and some of the components of it that's really important to me. These are practices that I've been doing for years now and teaching for years now. And really when you think about embodiment, what that means to me is truly this art form almost of being able to work with your own energies and truly choose your own frequency for the day. And so these are a lot of different energetic tools that I've used that are super efficient at really shifting your state. So especially right now, many of us have been experiencing a change in state from our everyday world, right? Like we're not living in the same world that we've been used to. So it's been a bit rocky, and that's saying it nicely. So granted, we're all kind of having our own experience, our own version of this time, and taking from it hopefully some positives and definitely seeing a lot of lessons. This is a tool, this is a practice that will really help you to be able to connect in a different way with your body and really start to connect and tune into what does your body need from you? What are you holding on to? What are you processing? And where can you maybe create a little space for yourself to let some things go? So that's what we're all about. So I've actually run a program called Embodiment for almost the past year that's really been about self-healing and learning to really have a different relationship with your body, learning to speak the same language as your body, as I like to say. And this practice is really kind of the love child of a lot of different philosophies and things that I teach in there. But the thing is, even if that's not where you're at on your own in your space right now, all the classes are going to be themed differently. So essentially each class is going to have a different energy that you're going to be able to tap into and connect with and really experience, feel it in your body. And by the practice of actually cultivating these things, you're going to soon start to understand that you have the power to connect with whatever energy that you may need for the day. You have the power to really choose your experience and how you want the day to go for you. So this is really a practice of breaking up your patterns, breaking up your hamster wheel, so to speak, and really choosing something different for yourself, allowing yourself to have the space to actually expand into something beyond just getting out of bed, going straight to the phone or the emails or whatever it is that you're doing and rolling on autopilot. So we're going to talk much more about this in tomorrow's class. So I'm doing an official launch class tomorrow on Zoom because let's be real, the quality of sound and everything is going to be a lot better. And so that way it's a little bit more interactive as well. So I invite you guys to join me tomorrow morning, same time. We're going to do it on Zoom. So there's a link in my bio that you can sign up to get that information. If you want to dive deeper into this practice about where it came from, the different components of it, and really how to use it as a tool in your toolkit, in your self-care and mental and physical well-being toolkit. So sign up for that tomorrow. But I'll tell you briefly, basically there's a couple of main components, and these are all energetic practices, again, that I've been teaching for a couple of years now. I've been practicing for many years, and the first one is going to be Kundalini yoga and breath work, or pranayama as some people call it. So one of the reasons why this is such an important and crucial part of the embodiment practices is that it's really the most powerful thing to change your state. So when you start to work with your own breath, you can very quickly feel a shift in your body and feel a shift in your mind. There are so many different physiological benefits of doing breath work. So today's set, we're going to do a little mini set today based on immunity because it's pretty timely, right? So what we're going to be doing is some breath work in and out through the nose. And when you start to breathe in a really specific manner, what you're doing is you're activating the nitric oxide within your body, which we've been hearing about some if you watch the news about the current state, then it's something that's been mentioned a lot. So nitric oxide, not nitrous, but nitric, is something that is naturally found in the body that increases with breath work, particularly through the nose. So it's great for boosting immunity, it's great for boosting energy, and what it does is really help to pump circulation through your body. Breath work's also really wonderful for the lymphatic system system. So it's actually an immune booster that you can do right here at home for free in the comfort of your own home for just a couple of minutes. We're going to do a little 3-minute breathwork practice. What that really does for your meditation practice is it allows you to really go deeper into that meditative state, because the thing is, if you have tried different forms of meditation where you're really just sitting peacefully and maybe working with a mantra or a guided meditation or something like that, some people, myself included, have a really hard time doing that because our brains are too active. We want to be thinking about other things. And of course, like, it gets easier with practice like anything, but that's really not the style of meditation that I teach. For me, I've gotten so much better results when I start with something that's more active. So starting with a little bit of breath work really takes your brain to a different place. It forces you to really focus on being present and coming into the moment so that nothing else really matters. You're not going to be thinking about your, grocery list or things to do today or your inbox or any of those things. So it really just commands your attention to what you're doing in the present moment. So that's why I'm so really passionate about that. Honestly, it's healed my body in a lot of different ways, but it definitely has a really profound effect on the brain. Now, the next component to the embodiment practice is EFT tapping. And again, we'll go much more into this tomorrow in a full class, but basically, EFT is short for Emotional Freedom Technique. And these are all different active forms of meditation that really work with your nervous system. And so what that's going to do, it's going to allow you to shift out of that place of worry, out of that place of anxiety, into a place of control and into a place of really just kind of opening that space for yourself to experience and experiment with what's going on, what you're holding. So truly, the body, one of the reasons why it's so important to work with the body in these kind of like mind-body connective practices is that the body is the thing that's here on earth. Like sometimes we can take our minds to another place, but the body is the thing that's here. So it's really important that we can incorporate these type of active movements and things like the EFT tapping that really do bring it home. Like you feel a difference. And so it's a really profound method of actually tapping into the subconscious, no pun intended. Actually, puns are always intended. But it's something that if you've never tried it, it likely will feel pretty awkward at first. For me, the first time I tried tapping, I hated it. And yet here we are. But it's really powerful because it actually takes you to your edge of discomfort. So we're going to be talking about some different feelings and repressed emotions and letting them move while we're literally tapping our fingertips on different parts of the body. So it actually stimulates these meridian points that will allow energy and emotion to really start to flow. So once you start to open up those channels, you're going to feel so much better and so much different whenever we get done. And then lastly, after we've done a little bit of breath work, a little bit of tapping, we're going to go into a guided meditation, because then and only then, that's when your brain is going to really be able to go into the subconscious, really get some deep patterning done, and really just kind of do whatever it is that you're working with, whatever it is that you need for the day. So you'll feel a difference most definitely after you've done a couple of bits of that active meditation. It really just, again, kind of commands your body to pay attention and exactly see what it is that you're doing so that nothing else really matters. All of the distractions will sort of just fade away. So I hope you guys are ready for this. I'm gonna go through a little quickie, like maybe 15-minute practice today. So it's like kind of a shortened version of one of the longer embodiment practices. But the first thing I'm gonna encourage you to do whenever you come into these practices, if you join me tomorrow or in the future, the first thing I'm gonna suggest that you do is start to create a sensual kind of experience for yourself and really involving the senses into your space. So I'm actually working with a little roll-on essential oil. So this is something that's going to really just, again, start to shift that nervous system. If you have an essential oil, definitely, take a moment to go and grab it. It's really a special way of tuning into your body and really starting to engage with your body. So you can just take a couple of deep breaths in. If you don't have an essential oil, you can definitely do a little smudging or a little incense or even just a perfume or a fragrance that you love, anything that really starts to get that nervous system activated. The other thing that we're going to work with in this embodiment practice is sound. So unfortunately, we don't have smell-o-vision. That part is on your own, but we're going to use a little bit of sound. So the first thing that we do to start a Kundalini practice is actually tune in with our voice. So we're going to chant this mantra, and the words are Ong, O-N-G, Ong Namo Gurudev Namo. And we're going to go through that 3 times. And I'm going to tune us in quickly. It's something where when you start to use your own sound current, you'll hear the sound, of course, and it feels kind of clearing to the space, but it also allows you to feel the vibration in your body. So when you're doing it just right, when you have the perfect spinal alignment, you're going to feel that little buzz from really the pit of your belly all the way up through the sinus cavity, and it just feels really cool. It's a really beautiful connection tool that we use. So Om Namo Gurudev Namo 3 times. I'm going to go through it quickly, so feel free to give it a shot. If you don't get the words perfect, that's no big deal. But if you even just want to listen for today, that's totally fine too. So all you have to do to really start to tune in is come to a comfortable seat. It doesn't matter if you sit on the floor, sit on the sofa, sit in bed, in a chair, whatever is comfortable. It's very easy to kind of adapt these things to whatever stage you're at today. So starting to bring the palms together and really stimulate all of our little fingertip antennas. Starting to deepen the breath and dropping that breath down into the belly as you bring the hands into a prayer position. So tucking the thumbs into the sternum, closing the eyes, and just starting to slow down just a minute. And as you continue those big, deep belly breaths, I want you to really feel the expansion. Feel anything in your body that feels tight or tense. Filling yourself up here just as big and full as you possibly can, like a giant balloon. Just as if it were going to pop, you're going to get so full of air. And then exhale heavy. Let it all go. Feeling the difference with each round. And starting to notice as you continue those deep, deep, deep breaths, noticing anywhere in your body that might feel like it's stuck or tense. Maybe it feels like your whole body, or maybe it feels like something in the pit of your stomach, or like a weight on your shoulders. Just paying attention to what's going on with you today. And before we hop into our breath work and tuning in, I want to work with this theme of immunity today, because I think it's important that we understand that, we're all kind of under this situation where we're dealing with a lot of stress around getting sick. And the stress, I'll save you the science lesson for today, but we all know that stress is not good for our immune system. It slows down our digestion, it causes tons of problems. So really starting to cultivate this practice for an immunity boost is really important. So the breath work is going to be giving us a physiological boost in our immune system through, again, that increase of oxygen into the bloodstream. But we're also going to be working with the subconscious mind and really connecting with this feeling of security, this feeling that I don't have to worry about my health, because I know a lot of us have been in that headspace for the past couple of weeks. So as we start to get ready to tune in, just noticing where or how that may have been showing up for you. Just getting curious about the process. So as we go through this practice today, letting yourself notice where you may have been holding more tension than you realized, or more anxiety than you realized, just letting it all bubble up into this safe space today so that you can clear it out and move on. So go ahead and come back to your breath, taking one more deep inhale. Exhale, let it go. And we'll inhale to begin tuning in. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. And inhale deep, hold it at the top. Feeling that connection to yourself. exhale. Good. Starting to notice if you may feel a shift already, just leaning into that shift. Noticing what happens as we go through these practices, noticing where your mind is going to give you a little bit of resistance, and then noticing where you can self-soothe and talk yourself through, especially as we go into our breathwork practice. So this is a really beautiful meditation. It's called the Inner Sun Immune Boost. So a couple of things about this practice. It's traditionally taught with a head wrap. So if you like to do a turban or wrap your head, then awesome. I particularly don't like to do that, so I don't really wear one, but that's how it's traditionally taught. Also, we're going to be working with a breath of fire in this practice. So if you're pregnant or if you're on the first couple of days of your cycle, it may be a little bit too intense to pump your belly as we're going to. If you're not any of those things, then pump your belly. It's going to really help boost the circulation and really help this practice to do its thing. But if you can't use the navel to really activate that, if that's uncomfortable, then you can always slow down. You can do the same posture and just do a long, deep breathing exercise, or just take a much slower pace that feels comfortable. So always, always, always listen to your body. But as we begin, I'm going to remind you that as we go into some of these postures and some of these different parts of the practice, it's meant to be challenging. That's part of the magic. So when you consistently start to press past the point where your brain tells you to stop, when your brain says this is weird or this is hard, keep going at least 10 seconds more than you thought that you could. And what you'll find is it gets easier. Once you pass through that wall of resistance, it does get much easier on the other side. So just challenge yourself. We're not going to be here for very long. See what happens. I promise you, you're going to feel really good afterwards. Okay, so all we're going to do for this one is sit up nice and tall. We want to keep the spine straight, and you're going to take your neck into a little bit of a neck lock. So just imagine if you had a little neck brace on and you had something that was like stretching up the base of the spine all the way up through the crown of the head. We're going to take the right hand into a fist, except for the pointer finger. This pointer finger is going to block off the right nostril so that we're only breathing in and out through the left. And that's going to activate our immune system. So it's actually really stimulating to the nervous system in itself. And it's going to just activate that action that you're going to feel such a head rush. Now, you also might need a tissue after this, but that's okay. So with the left hand, we're going to take our hand up by our side like we're saying an oath. And we're going to take the thumb to the ring finger. That's our sun finger. So we're going to be activating this sun energy today. So it's slightly cutting off. Let me see if I can scoot over a little bit. There we go. So that hand's just going to plug right in there, sitting up nice and tall, keeping the spine straight. You can close your eyes and focus your attention right at the brow point, closing off the right nostril, and then starting to go into a breath of fire. So a breath of fire is an even inhale and exhale in and out through the nose. So if you're doing it right, it should feel pretty effortless. Granted, it can take a little practice. If you're brand new to doing breath work, it's totally normal for this to feel very challenging. It's totally normal for you to feel flushed in your body. All of those things mean that it's working. If you feel any spots that feel uncomfortable, if you feel any blockages in the body, add more breath to those spots. It's going to help you to break through anything that's stuck. Okay, so I'm going to turn up a little bit of music. I'm going to start the clock. And we are rolling. So go ahead and drop into your breath of fire. So keep going. I'm just going to talk you through this just a little bit. As you start to really find that rhythm, you can adjust, you can pace yourself here. You don't have to go fast at all. It's more about the power of the breath that's coming in and out through the left nostril. Bringing the attention to the body, noticing where it feels difficult, noticing what thoughts come up for you as you start to breathe through this pattern, and really just connecting with any sensations that you might feel. We're already a minute in, so just keep going, do the best you can. You can always slow down if you need to slow down. You can always hop out of it for a little recovery breath if you need to, but remember, your brain is going to try to talk you out of doing what you're doing right now, so just keep going. We're almost halfway done already. Good, stay with it. We have just under a minute to go. You got this. You can do anything for 1 minute. Just keep breathing through it. Let yourself feel anything that you're feeling. About 45 more seconds. Last 15. Good, now inhale deep, bring the hands together, interlace the fingertips with the thumbs on top, right in front of the throat, sip in a little more air. Sit up tall, hold the breath in, and try and pull the hands apart as hard as you possibly can, stretching the neck back. Hold it, hold it, hold it, pull, pull, pull. And fire out. Good, we're gonna do that 2 more times. Inhaling as deeply as you can, filling all the way up. Sit up nice and tall, hold it at the top and pull your hands apart with all of your might, feeling your body pressurized right here. Hold it, hold it, hold it, pull hard. Exhale. Good. 1 more breath just like that. Deepest inhale here, sitting up tall. Pull the hands apart, hold it, hold it, hold it. And this time when we let it go, I want you to roll your tongue backwards, like that. 1 more second, and then exhale. Letting it go, relaxing the hands. Taking a hand to the heart, a hand to the belly, and feeling all of that energy that you just moved. Going right into our tapping this morning. If you've never done tapping, just listen for my cues, keep your eyes closed, and feel what happens. I'm going to say a statement, and then you're going to repeat it after me. So starting at the very top of the head, feeling all of that energy running through you, running around you right now, just leaning into it and allowing yourself to get curious about which of these statements might be more true for you today. Just get curious about where you can get deeper into these feelings, letting them bubble up and then letting them clear. So starting to repeat after me, even though I've been worried because so many people around me are getting sick and there's so much fear about what might happen, I want to feel strong and healthy. I want to feel safe in my body. Good, moving right in between the brows. I never thought that things would be like this. And it's really upsetting. But even though this causes me so much stress, I know that my body is strong. I know that my body is resilient. Moving outside of the brow. I know how to take care of myself, even when I'm stressed, even when I'm overworked, even when I'm exhausted. I choose to believe that I'm okay. Good, moving underneath the eyes. Even if I haven't been taking care of myself, I know that I'm resilient. And I know that the more that I stress about this, the weaker it makes me. Moving underneath the nose. So even though everyone around me is stressed, even if there's a good reason, I can choose to remain calm. Because remaining calm is what keeps me strong. Good. Taking a big deep breath in there. Exhale, let it go. Letting the sound leave your body every time you exhale deeply. Taking with it a little bit of that stress. Moving onto the chin. My mind knows exactly what I need. Better than anybody else's suggestions. So it's possible that all I need to really do is listen to myself. It's okay if I need to tune in with myself and check in with my intuition in order for me to stay well, in order for me to stay healthy. Good, moving onto the collarbone here. Really just connecting with these feelings and these thoughts that are coming up, noticing where they might live for you today, noticing if you feel anything shifting, and starting to ask yourself some questions here, listening for your own answers. Anytime you ask your mind a question, it wants to answer you. So asking yourself right now, what do I need to do today to stay well? And just listening. Maybe it sounds like something simple, or maybe it's something very unexpected, but just trusting it, letting it come through. Moving on to the sternum. What would feel really good to do today? Just listening for your own answer. Maybe making a little list of those answers right now. Moving underneath the arms, just a couple inches below your armpit here. What would feel really fun to do today and help me release some of this stress? You have your answer. Moving underneath the ribs, right on the bottom of the rib cage. What does my body need from me today? Just listening here. Trusting anything that comes up. Good. Moving back to the top of the head. I'm capable of taking care of myself. I'm already doing the best I can within my control. And my best is good enough. Moving to the front of the brow. Keeping myself grounded helps me to stay well. And I'm learning how to do that right now. I'm already grounding myself right now. And it's safe for me to release this stress. It's safe for me to relax now. So I fully release this anxiety from my body. I fully release all of this worry about getting sick. Taking a big, giant, clearing breath in right there. Exhale, let it go. Good. Moving to the outside of the brow. It's safe for me to feel confident that my body is strong and resilient. I choose to take care of myself. And I choose to stay well. Moving underneath the eye. I release any fear of sickness. I release any current sickness from my body. This no longer needs my attention. So it's safe for me to let it go now, feeling into that safety. Moving underneath the nose. It's safe to be well in my body. I choose to be well in my body. Good. Breathing into that, moving onto the chin, feeling the difference, feeling anything that's shifted within your body or within your thoughts. I'm so grateful that my body is strong. I'm so grateful that my body is resilient. Good, moving to the collarbone. I'm so grateful for my health and vitality. Even if I'm not perfect, I choose to focus on what is well. Good, taking one more giant deep breath in here, moving onto the sternum. Feeling your heart space open. Closing your eyes and going into it deeper here. I am well. I am strong. I am healthy. Good, relaxing the hands, feeling into that energy, filling all the way up. Holding it at the top for just a moment. And then exhaling gently. Letting your body soften, letting your breath soften, letting your hands just relax. And just feeling into every little bit of energy that you just created. And allowing it to expand right now, just as if it were a giant bubble or light beam around your body. Filling your entire body with light right now. Letting it go anywhere in the body that it needs to go. Anything that feels resistant or uncomfortable. Anywhere the worry has been living, let it go there right now. Concentrate it. And once you feel your entire body filled with this healing light, let it start to expand around your body, making it just as big as it wants to go. And now, just as if you had a little dial that would allow you to turn up the intensity, I want you to crank it all the way up right now, sending that light energy all the way around you, filling up your entire space. Clearing any negative energy. Carving out your sacred space, filling your home with it right now, letting it get even stronger. I want you to take your attention to the very perimeter of this light, just as if it were a bubble. I want you to take your attention to the very outer edges, expanding it more here if you desire, letting it just feel so protective around you, around your home, around your neighborhood, around your city. Maybe even taking it so big now that it surrounds your entire state. Maybe even stretching it so big that it just starts to envelop the entire planet. Feeling this healing energy connected to you and filling up this entire space so strong. Healing anything inside that needs healing. Purifying anything inside that needs cleansing. Taking just a moment to feel this warmth around you. Now go ahead and start to shrink that bubble down slowly, drawing it back in towards your body and letting it wrap around you, imagining it sitting around you just like a second skin. Noticing how it feels touching your skin. And locking it into place here just like an invisible filter. Holding in all of this pure healing energy. And filtering out any negativity, any illness, any worry. making it triple thickness now. Once you have your protective filter around you, noticing that you have the power to control it. It's there for you anytime you may need it. You can expand it any time that you may need it. You can draw it close to you when you may need it. Go ahead and take one hand to your heart, one hand to your belly, and go ahead and drop back into those big belly breaths. Bringing your awareness back inside the body, noticing anywhere that you feel different, noticing any shifts that you may feel in the body. Taking a moment of gratitude for your body and your mind for taking you on this journey today, for keeping you safe, for keeping you strong and keeping you well. Taking this little mantra with you anytime that you may need it today. I am strong, I am well. I am strong, I am well. Starting to bring the attention back to your space. Inviting back a little small movement, rolling the neck. Taking a big stretch up overhead with your next inhale. Letting yourself feel so tall. Taking a few moments just to kind of come back into your space. If you have a few minutes to take some intuitive movements, I highly encourage it. Do something that makes you feel strong in your body right now. If you have a playlist that you love or a song that speaks to you, put on something right now that gives you what you need. And going back to that answer that you had earlier, that clarity of what your body needs from you today, what can you do right now in this moment to set that intention for your day, to make some space for it in your calendar, or just to really prioritize yourself today? Thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope you feel incredible. If you want to learn more about my method and dive a little bit deeper into this practice, I would love for you to join me tomorrow. So I'm going to do a bit longer class tomorrow at the same time at 11 Pacific, but you have to sign up for the Zoom because we're going a little bit deeper into some technical, some audio stuff tomorrow. So we're going to use Zoom so it's a little bit better experience. So thank you guys so much. Let me know how you like this experience. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. I'm always here to help. So thank you guys so much. Happy Friday, happy May. Sending so much love to you guys.